Good morning, afternoon, evening, whatever time it is, wherever you are. Glad to have you here. Um, YouTube is connecting up finally, and so let me go post a link on our website. The website is jollyrogerukulele.com, and you are tuning in for books 1 and 2. You know why you're here. You didn't show up here on accident. Link to join. Shift, highlight, link, enter, edit, settings, open a new window, update, and update. All right, so that should get people headed this direction. I've got that open, and now I need to open this one over here. We have to put us on Twitter. What is it called? jollyrogerukulele.com. And let me post this here real quick, and then we'll talk about what we're playing today. Tweet. Nice. Okay, there's that on Twitter. Today we are playing through Simple Gifts for out of book 1, Simple Gifts, which we've been playing for a little while, and then Carnival of Venice, which we started a week ago. And then we're going to study Daisy Bell as a new song today. That's Bicycle Built for Two, one of my faves. And then on Thursday, we will wrap up book 1. No, not quite wrap up book 1. So let's not talk about Thursday. The other part of music we're going to play today out of book 2 is the end of the Tin Pan Alley series. So Tonight You Belong to Me, Ukulele Lady, and then we'll take a look at Yes, You Have No Bananas. And then on Thursday, we'll play through those 3 songs again. So today will be, they're all 3 of these reasonably challenging tunes. And so we want to, we'll spend a couple of days on those. Remember, on Friday, we do our modern and members get together. And so on Friday, Bridge Over Troubled Waters, El Condor Pasa, and Feeling Groovy. Though we've had those now for a couple weeks, so this will probably be the last week we work on those for a while. So get your membership if you don't have a membership, and go get those into your book and get studying on those. And that's where we're at. Let's see. Showing nobody in the room yet, and which I guess is fine. People are so busy, so used to me ejecting on this. I just want to make sure I'm here at the right time. Tuesdays and Thursdays. It is a Tuesday. It is 1 o'clock in Denver. It is time for me to be going. So let me make sure that this is updated and clickable, and then we'll get started. Let's see. Scroll down, and if I click here, theoretically, it opens up to me. Patience. We have this crazy fast internet here at the studio, and it still seems to take forever, and I'm never sure if that's me or what. But anyway, here we go. All right. Oh, Iago made it in. Hey, Iago, friend from SoCal. Darwin is here. Vic is here. Okay, rainy and cold. Denver, it is overcast, kind of dreary out there. Not particularly warm, not particularly cold. Just it is, And so we're definitely not winning. All right, grab your ukuleles. Let's see how we do. Let me grab a tuner. If you haven't bought a tuner or a clip-on tuner, these little ones with the green screens, these things that come with your ukulele. That one's dead. Get a different one here. This one turn on? These. So a lot of times when you buy a ukulele, it comes with one of these that has either a green screen or an orange screen. These are terrible, just the FYI. And if you're trying to live your life with one of these, do yourself a favor. Get yourself a Snark, S-N-A-R-K. The new version is called, you just look in Chromatic Snark HD, I think it is, and I think it's ST-8. They're so much better than these old-fashioned ones that we had. They come with your ukulele because they're basically free, and they're worth every bit of that. they are not near as accurate as the modern ones. And it's worth, I think on Amazon it's 15, 16 bucks for a Snark. And it's definitely something you want to own. In fact, I have 2 cases of them that I use to hold up the computer that I teach from. So that's how much serious I am. I buy the case and have people, make people switch them out, from the crummy one they have to the good one. I think pretty much you talk to anybody who's been trying to use crummy ukulele tuners for a while, and then they're like, you know what, I finally got the wherewithal to tune this up, or to pay for the better tuner. And they're like, yeah, I don't know why I waited so long. All right, beautiful. There's my advice for the day. Get a decent tuner. I got a mess here. This is a stack of stuff that I am trying to get off my, I think it's all trash is what I think it is, but it's a pile of stuff I have had in my storage area back here forever. Rain. It looks like rain up in the Up. Oh, Sandy was winning this morning. She had 60 degrees and sunny, and you're like, she can't win. She's in Michigan. And here she was having the best weather of any of us this morning. All right, let's take a look, or early afternoon for her. Let's take a look at our music today. I missed last Thursday due to a dental appointment. Thank you all for putting up with me. I am almost back to one piece. And I'm optimistic. The day is coming when. How come I don't have a Jolly Roll? Oh, I do. I know how to get to it. It's this stupid. This thing doesn't work. Here we go. All right. Yeah, day's coming when I'm going to be back into one piece. Simple gifts. Let's go grab that. Darwin got his strings changed this weekend. Your strings stretch like crazy when you put on, you go from, these are these white Nyla strings that almost all ukuleles come with these days. Please don't be under the notion that because your ukulele came with it, that it's the best one. What it is the cheapest one that all the ukulele manufacturers put on these days. It is a long way from the best one. So once you're done with your first set of strings, usually 6 months or so, take the white strings off, the Nyla material, and put on some fluorocarbon. I promise that you'll be like, oh, this sounds a lot better. But you do have to deal with what Darwin is dealing with, which is those strings stretch and stretch and stretch. Diodario micro headstock tuner. Okay, all right, if you want. That's Iago's choice. Those little ones that they look like you can hide them on there. Like, ooh, I'm not really tuning my ukulele. It has been my experience with those that they eat batteries pretty good, and they're not accurate. So that's so there's that. All right, simple gifts. Now remember, we have only 2 chords. Okay, and when we have only 2 chords, that's a good thing for us from a ukulele perspective. Da 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 da. Or in this case, it's a C. Da 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 da. And I want you to be able to play that way, but not really. I don't really care if you can play that way, because you'll go to some ukulele get together, and that's how they'll be doing it. Tis a gift to be simple. Tis a gift to be great. Tis a gift to where we ought to be. And that's fine. That's a lovely way to do it. But don't really do it that way. Like, don't make that a thing for yourself. That's not what we're doing. That's singing, okay? That's singing with your ukulele's backup. What we're doing is playing ukulele and leaving the singing out of it most of the time. Okay, now some of you are good singers in that, and you should be able to do both. But if you're a terrible singer, you definitely want to play ukulele. Okay, so we're going to be doing the melody first. Remember, it's just 1s and 3s, so you should be using your index finger and your ring finger and nothing else. Okay, so from the top, just the melody. 1, 2, 3. 1, 3, oh, 1, oh, 1, 3, 3, 1, oh, 3, 1, 3, 3, 3, 3, 1, 3, oh, 3, oh, 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 1, oh, 1, 3, oh, 3, oh, 1, 3, 3, 1, oh, 3, 1, 3, 3, 3, oh, oh, 3. 1, 1, 3, 1. Long time to go. 3, 2, oh, 2, 3, 3, oh, 1, oh, 3, 1, 2, 3, 3, oh, oh, 1, 3, 1, oh, 3, 3, oh, 3, 2, 3, oh, 1, 1, 3, oh, 3, oh, 1, 3, 3, 1, oh, 3, 1, 3, 3, 3, oh, oh, 3, 1, 1, 3, 1. Now the big thing that I'm thinking about as I'm playing through that is if I don't have to lift up a finger, I'm not. So I'm trying really hard not to do this. Right, so to be pulling up the minute I make the note, pull it up because I think I've got something else to do. I'm always trying to read 1 or 2 notes ahead so that I know what's coming up, so that I can leave it down if I can. Oh, oh, 1. Now I have a 3 coming, but I can leave my 1 down. And then I leave that 3 down because I'm going to play the next string while I'm doing that and just letting it hang out. Now the next note after that 0, well, I got to lift up my 3, but my 1's already down. Then I got to add a 1 down here, and I add my 3, leaving it down, and I lift up my 3, and my 1's still down, so I don't have to do any work. So try when you're working, particularly on melody, is if you don't need to move your finger, you don't. You just leave it sitting there the entire time, because what happens is, then while this one's busy ringing, and you're moving on to your next note, it's just getting this nice sort of combined moment where here's this note dying out and here's this new note coming in, and they sort of interlocked and make this nice transition. You sound smoother and better and more competent when you are able to do that. Now, you can't do it all the time, but it is something that you want to work on. Is, hey, if I don't need to move my finger, I'm not going to move my finger. Let's see, next things. The other, I think the important thing is, one, is your thumb really here? Okay, Darwin came in the other day. It's not like me to pick on somebody, single somebody out and pick on them. But Darwin was here and he were changing a string. I said, well, let me know what you think. So he puts his ukulele in his hand, and his thumb is here. Now, he's busy, trying to find out how the ukulele's sounding. And I'm busy losing my mind because I can see his thumb, right? So be mindful. This isn't a suggestion, okay? This is super important that your thumb is here and that your middle finger hangs out in front of your thumb, okay? Bloop, just like that. And your thumb is almost always just like that. Right? Sometimes it's down a little, as it's moving up and down the neck. Sometimes mine will get a little high. Sometimes it'll get a little low depending on the situation. But I never, I don't think, have it up here. You put it up here because when you were learning and nobody was teaching you, you were sticking the neck of your ukulele in the crook of your hand here. You were doing this. That's what you were doing, and it felt comfortable and safe. The problem is now you have created an impossible situation with your other fingers to try to make a decent chord. And there's, in fact, out on the internet, and when you look up ukulele and you're looking at public domain images, there's this picture of this guy, and this is what he's doing, and it's just this tortured chord, and you're like, oh God, people are going to get that and use that as an example of you playing ukulele, when it should be right here, man. This is changes everything about. You're going to go so much faster. You're going to sound so much better. Get your thumb. If it's here, it's wrong. Okay, very few things in music are right and wrong, despite what some of my helping I have several musicians in the orchestra who want to help me by showing how smart they are, and they will tell me things that are right and things that are wrong, and they don't know how goofy they sound because it's music, it's art. There's very little in music that is right and very little that is wrong, but one thing that is wrong is your thumb being up here. Don't do it. All right, there's my yelling at you today. And not that I wanted to single Darwin out, but he was, Here he is, singled out. But yeah, he talked about. He's like, yeah, I know. I'm supposed to have it down here, and you're like, yeah, no, it should be more than you know. It's like you should really fix that. So, and I know this happens a lot, right? It's just it feels very comfortable when I'm teaching little kids. They always stick the ukulele right there because it's just stronger and more secure. And I get it. I totally understand why that feels good here. The problem is we got to get you going fast. Those of you who are doing orchestra, you know how fast these notes go by. You're playing melody in orchestra, but it's going by at 90 miles an hour. And if you get one note per measure, dee, dum, 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 dum. Yeah, that's pretty good, right? That's pretty good when you first get started. I'll just do the first note in every measure. Whew. Poor Darwin, he's back there going, oh man, I got singled out. I'm never having that guy change my strings ever again. Thank you, Darwin. You're awesome. Thank you for being the goat today. Greatest of all time. That's what that stands for. All right. Let's play the chord melody. Now remember, when we do this, you can do thumb down or you can do plucking. Either way, you want to learn to do it both ways because it is going to come up as you get into the more advanced music that sometimes we're going to thumb strum and sometimes we're going to pluck. So I want to do it twice through, okay? No, let's do this. On ukulele, we're going to do plucking, okay? And then when we switch to baritone, we'll do that thumbing, and that'll give those of you on ukulele a chance to do some thumb strums. So when you're doing plucking, thumb, index, middle, ring, okay, on each one. In this case, we're going to assign these to each of the 4 strings. Now, sometimes you're going to use thumb, index, middle, and not use your ring finger and assign those to lower strings or even upper strings, okay? So don't think this is the only way to hold your right hand. Thumb, index, middle, ring, just on this song will be pretty good, okay? So your first 2 notes are 0 on the 3rd string, so you're going to pluck with your index. And then you got 2, 0, 1, okay? And you're going to use thumb, index, middle. And then you got that 3, that's going to be your middle finger here. And then a regular F chord, use all 4. Okay, so try that. If it gets too frustrating, then obviously switch over to your thumb. All of the arrangements in book 1 and almost all of them, I'm pretty sure it's almost all of them in book 2 can be done with your thumb. There is a couple that you really have to pluck, but for the most part, when I'm arranging, I'm thinking thumb down because that's how I want newer people to sound good quickly, but how I need you to get pretty quickly thereafter is able to play with your claw, because we're going to be, and certainly once you get into book 3, lots and lots of claw plucking in there. All right, here we go. Hey Diane, and Nancy made it in. Nancy, 83 degrees. She's winning for sure. Okay, here we go. From the top, 1, 2, 3. but pluck the entire thing. It's quite a bit harder that way than thumb down. But either way, so I want you to work on both, obviously, right? Nice little tune, right? It gets quite a bit more complicated with that F chord that you're frequently having to add a 3 on, or oftentimes I'll be using my ring finger or my pinky finger on 3s. Depending on what's going on in the other part of the chord that I'm doing. But that's a really nice sort of world-class song that people know about. It's definitely folk music. It's definitely limited chords, but it's got this incredible melody. And if you read through the words, it's actually this sort of Buddhist message inside of this very this now defunct Christian sect that broke off, and I think they're defunct, or mostly defunct. But in any event, you've got a nice little melody on this relatively straightforward chord progression, and you can end up sounding really quite lovely with that. So now, let's go grab the baritone version of this, and we'll talk about how you handle this as an ensemble. So most of you, a couple of you, Diane and Nancy both have baritone ukuleles, but you may not have one yet, which is it's not wrong like Darwin's wrong, but it is your thinking can be improved by owning a baritone and a ukulele. Right, so most of you have some level of ukulele acquisition syndrome, and you go into your back room and you have 3 or 4 ukuleles back there. 2 or 3 of them you don't play, and the 4th one, that's the only one you play, right? So when you're in that process of acquiring cheap ukuleles because you are in love with ukulele, make sure baritone's one of those things you get. Baritone's surprisingly inexpensive for what you get. I mean, I consider these Ohana 35Gs to be one of the very best baritones. I like it, truthfully, a little better than my Kamaka. That's how much I like these. And one with glossy and fancy and all this stuff fully set up with a case, you're talking less than $400. And it's just a way to end up playing ukulele with a deeper tonality and a low string on the top here, so you sound kind of like a guitar player without really having to learn anything. Yago's a baritone player. Forgot you, Yago. And so it's a nice addition to something you can already do. The only difference is now you gotta have baritone brain versus ukulele brain, so that when you see this on baritone, that's a C chord, right? But those of us who are playing God's instrument, we know that's an F chord, right? So you do have to get where your brain bounces back and forth. In the beginning, it's a little bit of a challenge, but pretty quickly thereafter, you get super comfortable. And you guys have already been training with this on opposite sheet music anyway. You already know when you're looking at the baritone ukulele sheet music and you're holding a ukulele, when it says C, I'm going to play this, not this. You're already doing that, and then you have your G chord come up. You know that's that shape, not the shape it's showing, and so you've already got baritone brain versus ukulele brain going on, and so it's not going to be as much of a transition as you think. And I'm sort of a fan of the baritone ukulele in the sense that it gives you not better, just different voicing right away, and that means that you can, depending on the situation, especially because I'm always encouraging you, go play with other people, that gives you an opportunity to come into a group, and if everybody else has ukuleles, you bring the baritone. If everybody else has guitars, you bring a ukulele. If everybody's playing piano, you can bring either, and you've got some choices in terms of voicing what's going to sound best for what you're doing. Now, we're going to play the baritone thumb down. Do the thumb down thing. The melody is identical to the way we play it on both machines, but instead of plucking like we did on ukulele, on this one I'm going to do thumb down. Ukulele players, you are going to be playing chords, and you can do it either way. So if plucking got really unpleasant, now you can do it just one. You can put your C chord on, not this C chord, your C chord. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Just doing that way. That gives you practice plucking. If that feels kind of boring, do some nice down strums. C 2 3 4, G 2 3 4. If that feels boring, up and down. Down, up, 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 down, up. Right? All of a sudden, that sounds very exciting. And of course, you also have arpeggio picking. If I'm on ukulele, I'm not going to use the top string for arpeggio picking. I'm going to use the bottom three: thumb, index, middle, index. And if it is it, 'tis a gift to be simple, 'tis a gift to be free, 'tis a gift to come down to where we ought to be. Doesn't that sound pretty? And all I've done is taken the plain old chords and just broken them up into the beats, and all of a sudden I sound like I know what I'm doing. And you can even do it at double speed: 1 and 2 and 1, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 2. And 'tis a gift to be simple, 'tis a gift to be free, 'tis a gift to come down to where we right? And so that's double timing it. That means I'm plucking on every eighth note, and especially if you have a decent singing voice, that's going to be a magic cure for just about every song. It's just doing a nice fast arpeggio underneath your voice. Dolly Parton's been doing it for years, and she's made a few bucks doing it, and so that should send you the message that, hey, if she's doing it, I should probably be learning how to do it too. Marilyn made it in. Hey, Q. Sunny California, very windy. Temps in lower 50s, dry as a bone. I know, right? We gotta get California needs more rain. Doggone it. And Sandy's on baritone. Look at how many of you baritone players are there out there. Well, I'm becoming Arthur Godfrey again, right? He did a lot of baritone. All right, here we go from the top. 1, 2, 3. Just lovely, right? And if you play that for somebody smooth and pretty, not fast, right? You don't gotta rush. They'll be like, "Oh my goodness, you are really a good player. I didn't know you were such a good musician. Could you teach me some stuff?" And what's the first thing you teach them? 0, 2, 4, 0, 2, 4, 0. Remember when we started, you guys, on that? That's where you start. That's where you become this, and so it's working out pretty good. Okay. Now, let's go on and talk about a couple other things before we switch over. Carnival of Venice, I want to play through that just the melody line today, and then we'll play Chord Melody next week. So grab your Carnival of Venice. Let's grab baritone first. That'll give you a chance to play some chords. So grab Carnival of Venice baritone first. Let me see Carnival of Venice baritone. Okay. Ukulele players, C chord and G7. Okay, so C chord, G7. That's it. That's the only two you have. Okay, and baritone players, we're going to play melody. Now remember, you have 1s, 3s, and 5s. So 1s, probably your middle finger or your ring finger on 3, and then pinky on 5. That's going to work out for the whole song until you get down to measure, I don't know, there's an 8 in here somewhere. Measure 25. Okay, when you see that 8 coming, okay, the note before it's a 3, slide your hand up to the 3 and then reach long stretch to 8. Okay, so when you see that measure 24, you got a 0, and you're like, okay, here's that 3 and an 8. 3, 8. Okay, that's how you got to do it. Okay, that's why you're always trying to read 2 notes ahead. Always be 2 notes ahead. That way you got no surprises coming. From the top, one. Oh, and ukulele, we got 3 beats per measure, right? 1, 2, 3. Keep it steady. 1, 2. 2, 3, 1, 2. 3, 1. 2, 3, 1, 2. 3, 1. 2, 3, 1, 2. Okay, and then you would repeat it, right? And I've actually in the melody crossed off 0200. I've just crossed off all those because it's not really a part. That's part of the harmony sits and doesn't need to be that way. So remember on reading first and second repeats, the first time you play into 31 and 32, the second time you skip 31 and 32 because of the bar, right? When I redo this, I'm going to squish this onto one page. It's sort of annoying that where it looks like maybe I did try to squish it onto one page and wasn't successful. So maybe I'll expand it out to fit onto 2 pages more than because I don't like it when you turn the page and all of a sudden you're like, oh, I just got to repeat and go back. That's always feels like it's a lot of work for nothing. All right, so that's the melody, and now the chord stuff that's going on is a whole lot like Simple Gifts, a completely different song, but the big thing is making sure you got your bar on 5. Okay, so make sure you're working on that. So Thursday, this will be the song we spend our time on. And then I do want to grab ukulele. Yours is the same, so I'm going to short you guys on this. I do want to talk very quickly about Daisy Bell, so go grab Daisy Bell for me, and grab the ukulele version of Daisy Bell. With Daisy Bell, the key here is we're used to hearing this as Daisy, Daisy, give me your answer due. I'm half crazy, all for the love of you. And that is not how this is arranged at all. Okay? This is designed to make you count. One of the things that we do in music is count and count and count and count and count. It's a very boring and very unartistic activity, but it helps keep everybody together, right? And so in this case, with Daisy, you're going to play day 2 3 Z 2 3 day 2 3 Z 2 3 give me your answer do 3 1 2 3 and I really want to encourage you to sing out loud as you're playing that to make sure that those are in the right spot. Okay, so I'm going to play the tough uke, and you may not have had a chance to look at this yet, but I'm going to play the tough uke. If you're on baritone, you got tough chords: F chord, B flat, and C7 is way over here. D minor is straight down from there, dink, dink, and dink, just like that, and then your G7 is easy, yay! So that's your chords. So on baritone, this is kind of a pain in the neck. But obviously you're going to work on the tough uke at home using your sheet. Now I'm going to play the chord melody. You should maybe just play along with melody if this is the first time you're looking at it, but you're counting aloud the beats. Otherwise, you will come in early, I promise. And when we get down here where the beats are going to get really quick, like measure 28, then you're going to fall behind. But if you keep this nice steady beat, you'll see how much easier it is to play. Okay, so play along with me, either melody or tough uke or chords, whatever makes you happy. 1 2 3. Day 2, 3, Z, 2, 3, day, 2, 3, Z, 2, 3. Give me your answer. 2, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. I'm 2, 3, half 2, 3, gray 2, 3, Z 2, 3, all for the love of you. 2, 3, 1, 2. It won't be a stylish marriage. 3, strum 2. I can't afford to a carriage. 3, strum 2. But you'll look sweet 2 upon the seat 2 of a bicycle built 2 for 2, 2, 3. Okay. Measure 28, even I fell behind. And I was purposely trying to go slow. Upon the seat beat of a bicycle, right? Of a bicycle. Dun, dun, dun. And it's a little awkward, the fingering in there. So if you're going too fast and you're not counting correctly, 28 is going to be a disaster. Okay, I'd work on 28 anyway, but that's one of those areas where you want to get things right. So this week, tomorrow, spend a little bit of time. We're done with Simple Gifts. Okay, so I want you to get Carnival of Venice in good shape, and then I want you to play through Daisy Bell a few times in all the different ways. Practice your chords, practice your melody, and of course always practice your tough uke. I will point out very quickly, measure 5, you have what we call the delightful B flat. Okay, and here's what a B flat is. You make an A chord, you slide everybody up 1 and add a bar. That's B flat. Okay, I like you to use a full bar because you're also going to be playing that full bar. You're going to be playing this full bar. You're going to be playing this full bar. Probably won't be playing that one. You will probably be playing this bar. And all of those are going to require a full bar, so I want you to get where you're feeling comfortable with that. Now on guitar, sometimes we use a little bit of an arched bar, but on ukulele, I think probably the easiest is to think of it as flat. This. If you're getting a lot of this, know that that's normal when you get started. It's just dead sounds, and I would not lose any sleep over it. You're just making a dead sound at that moment, and you're going to keep moving forward. Because there comes a day. First of all, playing the B flat is hard because your bar is right up against the nut, right? And so, give yourself permission for it to sound terrible. Long term, you're going to have this, and it's going to sound a whole lot better. Okay. All right. Now, that's it for Daisy Bell. Okay, so, and you'll also notice, I guess, on Daisy Bell, in the tough uke, you don't ever actually have to finger the full bar chord. If you look through there, it doesn't show up in the tough uke, but it will show up in the chords. And so next Thursday, we'll probably spend a little bit of time singing this one as well, so you can get comfortable getting that B flat on. It's not like you get comfortable with it if we play one song, but you'll get more. You'll get where you know what to do, hopefully, a little more quickly. All right, there we go. Book 1 done. Let's talk about book 2. Book 2, guys, we're finishing up the Tin Pan, the about a month of Tin Pan Alley stuff, and it's always sad to me to watch it go away. So we're going to play this week. We're going to play Tonight You Belong to Me, Ukulele Lady, and Yes We Have No Bananas, both today and Thursday. And then we'll wrap up Tin Pan Alley, and then we can talk about what you guys would like to do in terms of songs out of book 2 that we haven't done in a while, or ones you'd like to do again, or that sort of thing. So over the last few months, we've managed to get a pretty good chunk of those knocked out, and a bunch of them. My first thought is I don't have baritone sheets for Stephen Foster, and so if you guys are up for that, I can knock out those baritone sheets. Stephen Foster, in my mind, has gotten tarnished just a little bit in terms of our more enlightened way of looking at musicians forever. He was revered as this great musician, and you would have to ignore this wildly racist theme that goes through all of his music in order to continue to think that he's a great composer. However, if you can, the songs that he wrote are American classics, and for their time in place, they were well thought of and well liked, and he's certainly the first professional composer in America, probably, who made a full-time living, although he died very early. So there's the good and the bad that goes with Stephen Foster. I do like the tunes. I'm disappointed that we have to talk about his biography when we're playing those tunes. But if you guys are up for that, those are some that those are jumped out at me today as I was looking through the list of stuff that I've never made baritone sheets for, and maybe we should. So there's that. Linda made it in from snowy Vancouver. Window washer had this. Yeah, he's like, no, it's snowing and it's cold out. I'm going home. Good for him. All right, let's do Tonight You Belong to Me, and let's do it on ukulele first. Tonight You Belong to Me, ukulele version. Okay, we'll go nice and slow. This is a pretty challenging tune, guys. So know that you're getting ready for a little crazy here. Okay, get your C chord on. Now notice we were just now talking about B flat in Daisy Bell. Slide it up too, and it's a C chord. Isn't that handy? That's really nice. From the top, not fast. 1, 2, 3, 4. Sorry. Okay, and then go back to measure 5 and go. Oh shoot, I went into the first ending. Okay, measure 12. Measure 13. And then jump back to 9. Jump all the way to the end there. Okay? Yeah, if you play there, right? I want to do it one more time. I want to clear it up. No snow in Poco. No snow over there yet. All right, it's headed your way, Robin. I'm going to play it again. From the top, I can do better. I feel I can do better. From the top, 1, 2, 3, 4. Isn't that cute? It's such a cute little song. It really is very cute. And those of you who remember seeing The Jerk when it came out in theaters, like we all went to, will remember Steve Martin and Bernadette Peters singing that. Bernadette playing the trumpet. Walking on the beach with her trumpet. All right, let's go grab the baritone version of this. All right, everything's exactly the same. Pagination needs a little bit of work on this one, but all right, from the top. And hopefully ukulele players, before we ever get to class, right, you've already grabbed the baritone sheets and written out what your chords look like. There's some weird ones on here. You've got a G sharp in here, right? So on ukulele, you got your G sharp here, and then and your G here, right? G sharp is just sitting here, but you can't hit that top string. Sounds weird. Sounds fine here. And here it sounds weird. So when I see that, and I'm like, oh geez, I'm just going to raise this up but not touch the string that's open. That's how I would probably handle that. When I see a C minor down there, I happen to know on ukulele it's this, but that's not something that is in your, maybe in your wheelhouse, and you got to double check it, right? So hopefully you've gotten into that program of, oh, I know he's going to play baritone too, and I only have a ukulele, so I better go get the baritone sheet and fill out what my ukulele chords look like. All right, from the top, 1, 2, 3, 4. I shouldn't have turned the page. Nice, right? Isn't that cute? That's such a cute song. It should be there. And done. Back over here, and where is it? Where is the typo? Oh, right here. Okay, nice. That was lovely too. We'll play that again on Thursday. Now, let's go take a look at Ukulele Lady. Okay, grab the baritone version first. Let's see my hand. This is a song when I first started playing ukulele. I'm like, I want to play Ukulele Lady. And then it was many years later when I finally got an arrangement done, because it was pretty hard. It was just too hard. And so it took me a while before I actually got this into the repertoire. And so if you're struggling with this one a little bit, it makes sense. It's okay. You should be struggling a little bit. Okay, we'll go through it nice and slow. I think we've talked about it in the multiple sections that you're dealing with here. Take your time through it. And again, with ukulele, I know what a C chord is, but I'm not sure I know what a G sharp 7 is. I do know what a G7 is, right? So a G sharp 7 is just up 1, and then don't play the open string. Stuff like that. When you see stuff you're not 100% sure of, you're like, all right, I don't know what that one is, but I know what the one right below it is. And so if I know what the one below it is, I just can slide everybody up and make sure you're only hitting the strings that you're actually holding down to solve that problem. Now, you probably do know your A minors and your E minors and maybe your B7, A7, slide it up. B7, right? So be thinking about that in terms of, it's not really a music theory thing. It's really just a how the chords work, right? If you know a chord and you move it up one, it becomes a sharp, and if you move it up two, it becomes the next name. And sometimes there's not sharps there, right? You guys know that as well. So just be mindful. If you don't know a chord, you got two choices: one, skip it, or two, use a chord that you do know that is below it, and then push it up however many frets you need to. And that involves knowing the piano keyboard. That's the only thing in music I think you really do need to memorize, is how the piano keyboard works, because as you get into chord shapes, you're not going to memorize every single chord on the planet. So sometimes you're going to have to take something you do know and adjust it to be the new thing. All right, I'm gonna play Tough Uke. I'm gonna play this slow, and I'm gonna enjoy the trip. Okay, you're on ukulele. You're gonna give me some nice, just beautiful. Keep the pacing for me. I'll see if I can keep up with you. From the top, 1, 2, 3, 4. Second ending. Messed up that bar chord. I decided not to do the repeat just because we're going to be a little tight on time. But you're supposed to hit the end of 48, and remember, you jump up to 17. Don't go all the way back to the beginning. It's too much, right? People will be like, I don't like that song. It's too long. But so go back to 17 is where you return to. We'll play that again on Thursday, baritone people. And ukulele people, let's do your version. Obviously, when you're playing Ukulele Lady, you have to play it on ukulele. Duh. There's actually several Tin Pan Alley tunes that include the word ukulele in the title, so it's kind of fun. Because Tin Pan Alley and the ukulele were sort of had an explosion and together at the same time. It was very. That's why there's all this old Tin Pan Alley music with ukulele fingerings on it. All right, Ukulele Lady, ukulele version. 1, 2, 3, 4. Second inning. Oh, love that song so much. Just very pleasant. Just like, the words are funny. And normally when you hear it done, certainly with singers and in commercial versions of this, they do go real fast and make it super goofy. But I think if you play it slow, it feels like almost a lullaby a little bit. Just has this really, just these lush, beautiful moments that come along. And you're just like, oh, that sounds lovely. That's how I want ukulele ladies to be. Um, so dumb. All right, last thing to talk about before we run off. I know I'm hitting the end of my time here. Go grab. Yes, we have no bananas. There's only one thing about yes, we have no bananas that I got to talk about, and it's kind of annoying to have to talk about it. So let's put this into your thinking caps here for the week. Yes, we have no bananas. This song, it was wildly, like crazy level popular. It was on the top 10 list of everything back when it came out, and I'm like, why? And it's just one of those songs you're like, I don't understand why this was popular at all, but it is what it is. And so let's take just a moment to talk about it, and and then we'll try to remember that things have changed in the world, and our job is not to judge. Our job is to just make this song happen. So, yes, we have no bananas, ukulele. Um, Now, it's in key of A. This is not, no, I'm sorry. I grabbed the wrong one. I grabbed You Are My Sunshine. That's a lovely song, too. Come here. Yes, we have no bananas, ukulele. Key of C. Whew. I was like, I don't remember it being an A. Look at how easy the beginning part is, right? Yes, we have no bananas. Bum, 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 bum. There's that 4 in there, right? Weird note, have no bananas today. Bum, 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 bum. And that's like, yeah, that's the part that was famous, right? Yes, we have no bananas, bum, 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 bum. We have no bananas today. Probably if I arrange this again these days, I would take out measure 4 for the most part. It's like, what's going on? Let's just get going on with this song. But right now, it's fine. Now, here's what gets weird about this. We've string beans and onions and cabbages and scallions and all kinds of fruit and say we have an old-fashioned tomato. I mean, it's just all these. They just went through and made a list of food, and apparently at the time you're supposed to say it with some sort of ethnic accent, which these days that kind of humor is again frowned upon, but regardless of whether we do it with an accent or not, it's like, how many fruits and cheeses and nuts and things do they need to make this song? 9 verses of this junk. So we certainly will not play all 9 verses. But let's talk about just the melody, because it is a little complicated. So just play the melody with me. We've string beans and onions and cabbages and scallions and all kinds of fruit, and say 5 beats and then go. We have an old, I like that part, fashioned tomato, and then we long note, Long Island potato. You'd probably say potato, right? And then back to the main idea. Yes, we have no bananas. Really long note. 4. We have no bananas today. You repeat the song 9 times. 9 times. And then at the very last one, the 9th time through, and measure 32, you just go on. Oh, yes, we have no bananas. 3, 1, 2, 3. We have no bananas today. Okay, so the playing of it isn't particular. You got to get that kind of syncopated rhythm a little bit into it. The middle note is a tied note, so it's dun 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 dun, right, like that. So that's kind of fun. And when you've taken time to read all 9 verses, which I had to type in, so you're required to read all of them. Eggs, Swiss cheese, grapefruits. I mean, it just goes on and on and on. You're like, what did we do in here? Wildly, hugely popular song at the time, 1923. That tells you where. I don't know if we would see a song like that written today with 9 verses of food in it. So here's a moment in time that we're never getting back. And have a little bit of fun with it. We'll play it on Thursday. And so Thursday, Tonight You Belong to Me, hard song. Ukulele Lady, hard song, play it slow. And Yes, We Have No Bananas, a ridiculous song, but it's actually the reason to know it is you're like, oh yeah, that's I know that I know the chorus. Yes, we have no bananas, we have no bananas today, and then we don't know any of the rest of that song. And it's very typical of Tin Pan Alley is we'll chop off all the verses and just play the choruses. And when you do that, they're actually really good songs. So, all right, that's true of all songs, right? Just chop off the verses. All right, my friends, have a wonderful Wednesday, Thursday. I'll see you Thursday at 1. Remember, Friday we have Simon and Garfunkel for members, so become a member if you're not one on the website yet. Get your Simon and Garfunkel. Truthfully, Bridge Over Troubled Water is really easy compared to these 3 songs, so there's that. And then we'll finish up Tin Pan Alley at the end of this week. And then you'll let me know if there's something off of Book 2 that you'd like to work on sooner rather than later. And I'll see if I can't move that up to the list. And yeah, so there we are. Hope you guys are having a great day. Sounds like the weather's moving in up in the northwest. And it sounds like Nancy's going to be fine, 83 in Florida. So she's 83 degrees in Florida and has a baritone. All right, guys. Have a wonderful day. I'll see you soon. Peace.